Should we wait for your sandwich?
No.
Just.
No! There's wrestling!
Just have the.
There's women wrestling right now! Right now! Women are having costume and wardrobe malfunctions not 200 feet down that hallway! I'm just saying. You know what you can do with Funyuns that's really fun? You can make them magic Funyuns. They're impossible. It's really cool if you just pull them out of the bag like that. People think you're like some sort of wizard or something.
You need to market them like that. Just chain Funyuns.
Like continuous chain.
Funyun links.
Funyun links. Oh my god. I have no intro for these anymore.
No, that's an extra. Outro, as we like to call it in the business. Hello, welcome. Today on the show, we've got a very special guest, TJOmega, otherwise known to his friends as Tyler. Tonight, we've got exciting and insightful questions from us, the viewers, to you, the filmmaker. First question. What of your... Wait, the sausage.
I can't tell.
That is a fascinating response. Now, on to the next question. Here on Exciting Point and Counterpoint. Give me that. Can I show you what I can do with a Funyun?
I get in trouble enough because of you.
Squirrel!
So, I always figure Transformers is kind of obvious for me. Oh, look.
What? It's not a sandwich. I am not eating a sandwich live during an interview.
No.
I'm a professional. I would not do that. This is a rehearsal. That's what they told me. I will be in my trailer until we get this shit sorted out, because I am just telling you right now, there's wrestling going on. Naked women in a solar and coleslaw right now.
And unless you remind yourself of that...
The sandwich fairies came. Okay, I'm not going to eat you until we're done. This is going to be my reward.
Right. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Sandwich. How are you today? I'm good, Mr.
Talking to the sandwich now.
The sandwich is talking to me.
Oh, that's very
No,
rude
I'm not going to
sandwich.
do that. No. You're not talking me into that shit again. Besides, he's a nice guy.
We never talk Transformers.
It's more than meets the eye there, my friend.
So I hear. I want to talk a little Transformers with you. What do you think of the longevity your characters have had?
I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked, because to me it seems like we just did the show yesterday. But I realized, when you start sending VHS copies and whatnot, it's like, dude, I think we're at like 20-year anniversary or something weird with it now.
Yeah, it's getting on. It was
like this 2 decades.
Yeah.
Almost 2 decades ago. And yet still, no matter where I go in the world, even through the wilds of the pony people, the bronies and the mall, there's still people going like, dude, Beast Wars, man. Oh my god, my best show ever. And I'm so honored, because I'm so, to this day, proud of that show.
Yeah.
I think out of everything I've done.
Yeah. And, like the Waspinator I showed you last time. Which is coming out this month.
Yeah, they just need to give him a voice.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But seriously, him alone, he's got a little Lego man now. They just made like a little one that's that small and it
Really?
still transforms.
Bird?
Yeah.
Bird?
They make him
Bird?
Waspinators in many sizes now. And now Rat Trap's in the comics. And he's getting a new toy.
Of course, what this clearly means, with your cards and letters of support, that means they must be gearing towards a new Beast Wars series.
They just might.
Yeah, we're going to do live action this time, though. Yeah, it's going to be good. We got Justin Timberlake playing Megatron.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah. Miley Cyrus is going to be Black Arachnia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Gotta have the names.
It's going to be good. They're going to be real good.
It's picking at it.
I'm not eating it, though. There's a difference.
Stop picking at it. It won't heal.
It'll... That's good. All right.
Okay, in particular, Dinobot. Still regarded as one of the best characters the franchise ever had. What do you think of him looking back?
What do I think of him looking back?
No.
Or what do I think of him
look back
looking back?
Thinking of him.
Alright. This seems weird, though. Like, it seems rude to me.
Should have had a mirror for this.
Dinobot. Oh, man. I was just saying this another thing. I had so much fun working on that show And I had so much fun doing all of them because they were all kind of delightful to do. But Dinobot's character arc took a turn that was kind of amazing. I mean, it sounds very actory, but you know, usually in cartoons, especially North American cartoons, it's like save the world 22 minutes and sell some action figures, new from Globe. Dinobot became very interesting. And he was a very, you know, interesting character from the get-go because he was, you know, I've said before, he was kind of Worf. You know, it was like created Predacon, but, you know, maximal heart, like what is he? And eventually, and then of course, as it took that final turn in towards the code of the hero, it was like, wow, this is getting really interesting. It suddenly kind of ceased to be like, yeah, we're having fun doing cartoons. It's like, it's got some kafoomf to it. Kafoomf. It's a word that I own. If you want to use it, you can rent it from me. Check out my website, kafoomf.com.
There's a little TM that appeared over your head.
That's right.
Said it.
You got to find out where the hidden umlaut is. But Dinobot, I mean, and honestly, I didn't watch. The first convention I ever did was BotCon in '99 down in Anaheim, and that was just after Code of the Hero had aired, and that was my first convention ever. I'm like going, oh my god! I'm like, wow! And people were coming up like in tears, just so moved by the death of it. I'm just going, wow! I thought I was just moved because I lost a quarter of my paycheck. But then I watched it. When I was married at the time, my ex-wife and I sat down and watched that episode, and we were both bawling. And that's entirely because of the writing. You know, okay, there was a little help, maybe from the performances, but you gotta say, the writing on what Larry and Bob did with that series was they made the series great. You know, it wasn't like a chunk, or rather a chain of 22-minute episodes.
Right.
It went, it actually made that sound too. And it did that hand. That's what writers do when they're not actually with pens.
To your
Squirrel! What?
But to your credit, though, I mean, there's 3 parts of an animated character: your body, your mind, your soul. You get the writers doing the mind, you get your animators doing the body, and the soul has to come from the voice actor. And if the soul is there, I can see wooden dialogue and cheap knockoff animation come to life because the voice actor was on point.
You know what? I appreciate you saying that too, and I won't disallow it. A lot. What makes great, I mean, like when we first watched Beast Wars, it was like, oh my god, because normally a lot of the animation stuff, you know, especially when you're doing North American prelay, then it gets animated overseas. But you know, their job is to make the arms move and the mouths move. When we saw Beast Wars, you know, there was little subtle gestures, you know, like great animators like Chuck Jones and whatnot. And Chuck Jones could do more with a blink to convey an emotion than, you know, most actors would need soliloquy after soliloquy to do. So when the two come in conjunction like that, and then with the writing. But I will, you know, I stress when I teach about, you know, teaching voice work, it's like, it's not about making a voice. It is about making a character. You have to find the humanity in, no matter what it is that you're doing. Even if you are a small blob of crime-fighting wasabi that doesn't use words. So, yeah. But, again, the writing made it easy on that. You know, we didn't have to dig too hard. I had to dig emotionally, but the conflict was there in the writing, and then, you know, it is up to us to sort of convey that.
Well,
a lot of the physicality in that show was shocking to watch, because when we first saw the first, it was like, I'm going, you know, the first time I saw Rat Trap, I went, oh my god, you said, you know, oh no, shut up, and I went, boom, that was exactly what I was doing with my hands when I did that moment. But you know, with Dinobot, there was all of this. And it's like, were you guys videotaping us or something? Because it's amazingly physical when we're in the studio. People think we stand there with our hands in our pockets, and with the exception of Corlett, who played Cheetor, nobody does that. And he just delivers brilliance every time. I don't know how he does it. But, you know, we're twisting and turning and going crazy in there. And so, you know, it's a chance to, and then the animators had a chance to make the audience see what we were fully acting. That didn't even make sense to me. I better have some bread crust.
I will edit it together. It will make sense.
Pigeon food.
Continuing on Dinobot, since I don't hear you talk about it much, what about when they brought him back as a clone, playing the...
That was after people at that same BotCon were going, so when Dinobot died, but, please, Scott, promise me that they're not going to, like, cheapen his death by bringing him back. And I'm like, oh, trust me on this. They're not bringing him back. And then they did, which, of course, is a professional. I was like, yes! It's the one of the very few things that I've done where, in hindsight, once I saw it, and I actually just watched a couple of episodes not that long ago, and, you know, because it was very unclear. It was one of the few times that it was kind of ambiguous in there, because originally they were going to cast a different actor, and then it was like, okay, I'm ready for it, but it's like, is this Dinobot coming back, or is this... And I'm bashing myself on this because I didn't really get it, what I should have, and when I watched it, I went... Oh. And I would have, because the way they animated him was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was just psycho. And I was kind of, you know, and whether I was led that way or what, I was unsure which way to go. So I was basically playing him as Dinobot in a reincarnated different body with some slightly different things. But when I watched it, I would have made him way tweakier. Like, he was a nut bar. And I would have just taken him all the smoothness and, you know, the insight, the introspection of Dinobot, and just made him into a complete lunatic with the glowing eyes. He would have been definitely a little.
Say, you're going a little bone stealing.
There was a little bone steal in there. I hadn't planned that, but sometimes.
He's kind of the first Transformer zombie, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wish that I had done a lot more with it.
Okay, I don't hear you talk about beast machines much either. Took me 5 years. I finally broke him. Are we back now?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we are in time right now. You know what? God. Beast Machines looked fantastic.
Well, yeah.
It looked fantastic. But I know none of us were happy. Because it just, you know, whoever you guys were that did it, I'm sure you are wonderful writers. But you didn't have a damn clue what these characters were. And they spent like 18 episodes trying to develop these characters, you know, trying to set up backstory. And it was like, nothing happened. Gary freaked out in the city. He's like, this is bullshit. There's nothing happening in the show. I'm sitting around hugging a tree and figuring, like, when is this? And then finally stuff did start to become interesting, you know, when the Botanica, and but by that point it was too late. Like, the audience was gone.
Yeah.
And we were upset because I loved that show. And when we changed it, was going, oh my God, this is going to be really cool. Like, we can do some neat stuff here. Like, really neat stuff. And then it was like, I don't understand why they took those characters and then just decided that, well, we're going to just completely have them be different.
Yeah. It's really
We're
hard.
all going like, oh, I'm sorry, like, you know, what is Rat Trip? Because, like, who is, what?
Yeah. He's a techno guy now.
Yeah, it was
he
like,
wasn't the brains before.
You know, if they wanted to make a completely different series, they should have just made a completely different series.
The way I always hear it is, it's a good cartoon, it's just not a good Transformer cartoon.
Yeah. Well, I'll accept that.
Yeah, because it's got good ideas, it's got good animation to it. It just didn't have the root of the old characters they were trying to use.
Still not eating.
Still not eating. Okay, I'll give you one last question, then you can eat, and then you can go watch women wrestle in tight clothing.
It's probably over.
I'm sure they still will if you ask them nicely.
I'm okay.
Okay. Okay.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Unfortunately,
well, it is no problem.
Questions over here, Scott.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give you an out, though. I'm going to give you an out, even though this asks you to think. There's a hypothetical new Transformer project.
Yes, I would be.
Pick one character you'd like to play again, or would you prefer to...
What's behind door number 3?
Would you prefer to craft a completely new character?
That is a disturbingly good question. Because as an actor, I would love to... I would honestly, you know what? I would love to do both. Because I would like the assurance of work, and plus I would love to revisit. Who would I take out of them? It probably would be Dinobot. just because he was. No, you know what? I mean, you could do so many things. Like you could have Rat Trap. You could actually even take Waspinator and really have. Well, they kind of did that with animated, except it was played by somebody else.
But it was Tom Kenny. But it was Tom Kenny trying to do you.
Well, sort of. I mean, that's what it started as, right? Then he made it his own. They keep going like,
You asked me if you want to live in pineapple under the sea.
you know, that's the nature of the business, right? And I did watch some of it. I went, no. I mean, it may have started with him going, yeah, okay. And then he made it. And that's when they did sort of make him darker, really faster, better. I would be delighted to. But you know what? I just... If they had written characters that were as interesting to play as the 4 that I got to play on Beast Wars, I would dive in. I'd be all over that like a fat kid on a Smartie. But then going, okay, now I need to come up with something that is completely unrelated to what we've done before, and yet make them as interesting as what we had a chance to do in the past. Oh, fuck it, I just like to work.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
But it's a nice feeling to be able to know that you're doing good work, and that was a show that we all knew when we were working on it. We're going like, wow, this is good. Like, we're not just cranking out cartoons here, we're doing something good. Damn you, that's a good question. If you were guaranteed to revisit one, but just one of your old characters, or you have a crack at a whole new cast.
I'll take them all for 1,000, please, Alex.
Yeah, I don't think I can hold him back any longer.
Must feed. Otherwise the rest will be silence.
I would love to go back into any of those shoes. I really would.
You never know. I think they are trying to think. They're trying to figure out if Beast Wars will actually working in it.
Well, they let us do interesting stuff. Because I've noticed, a lot of the stuff, they're kind of going back to, what Gen 1 was, where everybody was basically human. So it was just, there's only so many variations on a human voice you can do. The liberating thing about Beast Wars was going, well, velociraptors talk like this. Flying wasp creatures actually sound like this. Because I would rather do that than be, kind of we're just going to use your own voice and you have a chance to be this, one of the crew of Transformer people. And it's like, I did that through Armada and through some of the other series. And it's just, from my point of view, it's more fun to kind of get in there and play with the weird. Because the weirder that gets to me, then the more actually fully fleshed the characters become. You're not stuck going, what would a human do? Autobots roll out. It's, and yet that's so iconic. And then it comes down to acting over being. These answers are going nowhere, by the way. But you know what? By the time you see this, he is going to have edited he's gonna have edited into something cohesive and fascinating.
Well, thank you as always, Scott. This has been enlightening as well as
You're a liar. There's nothing enlightening about that. It was babbling.
Babbling Brook, my friend.
Love you so much. It
Bye,
sometimes
people.
hurts.
Until we meet again.
Sometimes it's too much love.
Right, you eat.
I'm not hungry. This was just a prop. This isn't even real food. What is this? It's like some sort of plastic shit in the... I don't know what they use for bread.
Candy.
But it's movie prop. It's not
candy.
even edible. Mostly styrofoam.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing is real. See this wall? Bullshit.
Oh.
Tyler? Completely computer generated. Me, mostly animatronic. Hello. Let's start our interview. That's a fascinating thing. Terrific. Always happy to be here. You say? With a monkey?
Walt Abe Lincoln broke down again.